In this video, we will be taking a look at the guy saying how Doom the Dark Ages is bad because they're focusing on the single player campaign. And yes, it is about as ridiculous as it sounds. To make it worse, it is literally what I predicted in my previous Doom the Dark Ages video. Like, first you had Redditors claiming how this entire game and its soundtrack will suck because Mick Gordon is not returning, when there was absolutely zero chance he would return from the start, since he pretty much burnt all bridges with id Software with his Twitter expose. Seriously. Fear-mongering in order to try and ruin other people's excitement based on something that is literally impossible is just endlessly pathetic. And now we have this guy whose reasonings are somehow even fucking dumber, so let's take a look, shall we? The title of this video is Why I'm Boycotting Doom the Dark Ages, and comes from Cynical Gamer. And you already know we're in for a ride when the motherfucker making the video has the word gamer in his channel name. But let's not assume anything. Let's find out how Doom the Dark Ages is bad according to this guy.
So I'm someone who, you guys know, I'm very critical of Microsoft. That is kind of the thing that I've been known for in recent years.
Well man, then you'll be happy to know that Microsoft owning Bethesda had no impact on the Doom series, so already I gotta ask, where is the problem?
What is the problem?
But I am not, like, if they do something right, I am not going to just be like, yeah, I still fucking hate them because they suck, and I'm just gonna keep hating them no matter what. Like, that's not how I roll. Gonna give credit where credit's due, because one of my main criticisms against them is that they don't have any games. And they showed the games. They definitely showed them, and there's plenty of them coming out. So, hey, good shit, Microsoft. You did a lot better than Sony did during their press conference. They had pretty much nothing to show, while you guys had Fable, Gears of War, the new Call of Duty game, Perfect Dark, Avowed. Like, a whole bunch of these games look really, really good. Of course, they're meant to look good. Doesn't mean they're actually going to be. But, hey, they showed a lot more, and the short term looks a lot better if you're a Microsoft/Xbox gamer than if you're a PlayStation guy.
Or you can be like me and play on PC, because PC is better. But yeah, is now maybe a good time to get to the fucking point of the video instead of rambling about irrelevant ass bullshit?
It's just a fact. Like, you got to admit that. One game I didn't mention, though, is Doom the Dark Ages, which, obviously, you clicked on the video because of the title. It is a little provocative, and I know the vast majority of people, I'm going on a roll here, because I've had a lot of recent videos get dislike bombed. Most people watching this video are going to click the dislike button because they're not going to like what I'm going to say. If you're someone who's been watching this channel for the past 3 or 4 years, then you know exactly what I'm going to say.
Oh no guys, brace yourselves for this.
And it has to do with the fact that Doom the Dark Ages has no online multiplayer.
Okay, I am waiting for the punchline. But yeah, spoiler alert, this is his reason for boycotting the game. I mean, call me crazy, but I feel like dedicating more time and resources on the part of the game people actually care about, the single player campaign, to be a pretty good thing. Especially because the majority of people didn't care about the online multiplayer in 2016 and Eternal. I do personally feel like Doom 2016's multiplayer is pretty good, but I know it wasn't most people's cup of tea. As for Eternal's multiplayer, well, that shit died real fucking fast because the vast majority of people play Doom for the single player. So once again, where is the problem?
What is the problem?
That hasn't officially been said by the publisher, but the fact that if you look at the Steam page it says single player game, like that's literally on the description of the pre-order. So that's one thing, and there are articles saying that the game is not going to have multiplayer. So I'm just going to assume that that's the case because that's what happened in Doom Eternal.
Oh really? What do you call battle mode then? Seriously, tell me you're talking out of your ass without telling me you're talking out of your ass.
Doom 2016 had a full, robust online multiplayer experience, and then in Doom Eternal, they completely got rid of that, cut it out. They did have some, battle mode that nobody played or cared about.
So you admit no one cared about it, but you're still puzzled on why they would want to focus on the single player. This shit really does write itself. Not to mention, battle mode is literally an online multiplayer mode. I swear, does this guy even understand the terms he's throwing out? Rhetorical question, obviously he does not.
And was definitely not a replacement of the multiple game modes that the Doom 2016 multiplayer had, including Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, and all the other modes that it had to offer. It was a full multiplayer, while all Doom Eternal had was a 1v2 mode, a shitty one at that, and people just instantly moved on to something else, while Doom 2016 still has online players to this day.
Funny story about that. Doom 2016 couldn't even reach 1,000 concurrent players daily before the Doom the Dark Ages hype, and that also includes players in single player and players in Snap Map alongside the players in multiplayer. Meanwhile, Doom Eternal had almost twice the amount of players as 2016, yet despite that, the multiplayer of Eternal is dead as fuck, so take that as you will.
I don't want anyone to say, well, Doom multiplayer has never been a thing. Doom multiplayer doesn't have a community. Doom multiplayer is not something that is just a tacked-on experience.
Another funny story. Classic Doom games didn't even have online multiplayer. They had LAN multiplayer. And no one is claiming there are no communities centered around the multiplayer in these games. What people are saying is that the mass appeal comes from the single player. So yeah, this is literally just a straw man on his part.
That, you know, is just like whatever. It's just like a side thing and nobody cares about it. Anyone who truly believes that is just simply that they don't know anything about the Doom series. And
Says the motherfucker who doesn't even know what the term online multiplayer means. The projection is strong with this one.
they don't know anything about the history of it. So Team Deathmatch and Deathmatch, these are modes that are synonymous with online multiplayer.
And I rest my case. No, you fucking dumbass. Online multiplayer means the game connects players over a wide area network. That is not what Classic Doom is. Classic Doom has LAN multiplayer, which means that the players connect to a local area network. And both forms of multiplayer had deathmatch modes. If anything, Classic Doom's LAN multiplayer started it. So what you said doesn't mean jack fucking shit. I swear, you cannot be this fucking retarded.
Especially FPS games, it's a huge part of gaming culture, of online gaming culture, is deathmatches. Where do you think that the term deathmatch came from and the deathmatch mode originated from? If you had to take a guess, which game series invented it?
And also, which form of multiplayer was it? Come on, you're a big boy, you can figure it out.
Do you think it's Quake? Unreal Tournament? You know, because those are like known as some of the original online multiplayer games, so you would think it would be one of those games, right?
Yes, because Classic Doom had LAN multiplayer. Like, this is fucking impressive. We're living in a world where all information we ever need is literally one Google search away, yet we still have motherfuckers this fucking stupid. That has to be an achievement or some shit.
Nope, it was Doom. Doom is one of the original multiplayer games. It's all obviously single player has been the thing that is like the most known. Doesn't mean that multiplayer had no impact on the gaming industry. It was more impactful than even Quake and Unreal Tournament were. Doom 1 and 2 were fucking huge back in the 90s. Not just for single player, but also for online multiplayer.
I think this guy might unironically be on some good shit right now, because he's now claiming Classic Doom was huge for a feature it literally did not have. You have got to be fucking kidding me. I refuse to believe this shit is real. You cannot convince me someone this fucking stupid actually exists.
You can look at archives. If you actually look on YouTube and look up Doom 2 Deathmatch from like 1995 and 1997, people actually were able to record gameplay back then.
So because people know how to record gameplay, that means Classic Doom had online multiplayer? Literally fucking how does that work?
And upload it, and it's still watchable almost 30 years later.
Does this guy also not know how YouTube works? Here he is, gawking at the fact that a video uploaded to YouTube is watchable on YouTube. Fuck me.
How fucking incredible is that, by the way? But yeah, to say that Doom was never a multiplayer thing, and that it didn't have an online community, and it was just always like a side mode.
Because it was a side mode. And the other 2 points are literally just strawman arguments, as I already explained earlier.
That was just added in, you know, because that was a huge thing for so many years. Not so much these days. Games are usually single player or multiplayer, and not really both. But for a while, every game had to have a single player and a multiplayer tacked on.
What fucking planet is this dude living on? Motherfucker, do you know anything about video games in general? Again, rhetorical question, obviously the answer is no.
There was a lot of tacked on subpar multiplayer experiences that didn't really need to be there, but that was never Doom. And people could be critical of later entries in the series having a disappointing multiplayer, but the sample size is so small, because after this new game coming out next year, we've only had 6 mainline games in the Doom series over a 32-year period.
Assuming you're counting Doom the Dark Ages, then it's 7. Doom 1, 2, 64, 3, 2016, Eternal, and now Dark Ages. Or hell, even 8 if we wanna count Final Doom.
Doom 1 and 2, like I said, were pioneers in the online multiplayer space.
You know, it's kinda hard to be a pioneer of something when you're not even a part of that something in any way, shape or form. But I feel like we already established that this guy has absolutely no idea what the fuck he's talking about in regards to quite literally anything, so I'm just gonna end it off here. So I guess the moral of the story here is, Doom the Dark Ages is bad because I don't know anything. So yeah. Honestly, I don't really care if Doom the Dark Ages has multiplayer or not. Though, if there are 2 things I do want to bring back in terms of alternate modes, that would be Horde mode with some improvements, and a proper level editor. I love my level editors, so yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Be sure to like and subscribe to boost me the algorithm. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.